Hello, everybody. This is Mac, and we are working on inequalities, and we're going to do some basic solving with inequalities. As I did in version A and B, these are kind of easy ones where we don't worry about flipping the sign. And so, if you want to see A and B or see the video on how I do this, you can always go to maxtutorials.com, and I have a whole algebra sequence there. And if you're having any trouble on anything in algebra, go there. I'm here to help you. All right, so let's move forward. Also, if you could like and subscribe, that I'd appreciate that. All right, so on these, we're just doing math. We can add and subtract all we want, and it's not going to affect the inequality. So if that's less than equal to start, it's less than equal to finish. Okay, I want you to get in the habit of not worrying about flipping the sign so much. There's one situation, one very specific situation where we're going to flip that sign, but the purpose of this is to show you that that situation doesn't come up all that often. For the most part, you're just going to do math as if it was an equal sign. Now, I know I'm going through this really, really quick. You're just watching me. I'm not even explaining it. But that's because if you go to Unit 2 in my maxtutorial.com website, you'll see that I have a whole section on how to solve these, and I break it down really slowly. So if this stuff I'm doing is way too fast for you, maybe you came across this video right here, saw it on YouTube or something, but you hadn't really learned how to do the solve equations. Go to that. It's really going to help you guys out. Okay. So, anyways, I want to divide each other by 9 here. X is going to equal 6. And I do promise in those I go a lot slower. I'm assuming you're okay with what I'm doing now because this is later on in my section. So if it's not, go back and let's go really slowly and let's get you as comfortable doing these as I am right here with this. That's a multiplication sign because that means x divided by 3. So I want to times each. Ooh, that was an accident. I want to times each side by 3, and that's how you get rid of your denominator. Sorry, I have a little cut in there. I was in a middle of a conversation and I had a phone call, so I had to make a little cut in the video. So I forget what we were talking about, but we were talking probably something about when you flip the sign. I think I was telling you that you flip it when you multiply or divide by a negative number. Okay, so whenever you see a negative sign, don't automatically think you're going to flip, okay? Because that's not going to be the case. Like, let me show you what's going to happen on the next one right here. Let me finish this. Oop, I almost gave that one away. Okay, that's going to be greater or equal to 7. So on number 11, I'm going to subtract 3. A lot of students see that negative sign and go, okay, I see a negative sign, so that's when I flip, isn't it? The answer is no, it's not. Okay, you are allowed to add and subtract. Positive numbers, negative numbers, doesn't matter. All I did was subtract there. That's fine. That does not affect this at all. Okay, so it's greater or equal to 6. I can multiply and divide all I want. It doesn't affect it at all because I did it with a positive number. Here I'm going to subtract. Students will see that minus sign and want to flip. Don't, okay, because you didn't multiply or divide. So you don't flip there, okay? All I'm doing is I'm very, very quickly, maybe a little too quickly, and I apologize for that if I am. But if I am going too quick, I'd like you to go to maxtutorials.com and go to that unit 2. And that'll really help you out, okay? Because I'm going to go nice and slowly. I go a lot slower than this when I solve the problems. All right, so no flipping. Don't worry about it. Don't got to flip a thing. Well, so when do you flip? I want to know when to flip. I'm excited. You talked all about flipping. When am I going to flip? Well, that's going to be in the next section. So follow this on the Max tutorials, or if you're on the YouTube, if you can like and subscribe to this, it'll be the very next one. That's when I'll go into the flipping, and I think you guys are going to feel really good about inequalities after we do that. All right, take care. I'll see you guys there.